Hello, and thank you for joining us for the one-year anniversary of Innovation Pointe Middletown. Could you please tell us your name and position?
Yes, my name is Charlie Crew. I'm the Makerspace Manager at Pointe Library.
And how long have you been in that position?
It's about a year now, but I've worked here since the start of reopening our Westchester location.
My name is Emily. I am a Makerspace Technician here at Middletown, and I've been in this position for about a year and 3 months.
My name is Grant. I'm a Makerspace Technician, and I've been with this branch since July, so going on 6 months.
I'm Amy Abernathy, and I'm the branch manager of the Middletown location.
And I'm Steve Mayhew, and I'm the facilities director for the system.
In your own words, what is Innovation Pointe Middletown?
Oh, goodness. In my own words. So I think in my own words, the best way that I've been able to describe the Makerspace in Middletown is essentially a big do-it-yourself lab for adults. You come on in, you just do it yourself, and if you need any help, we are here to guide you. We are here to coach you through it. We'll give you a hug if you're scared, anything like that.
It is a place where you can come and create and learn and experience different pieces of technology that you may not have encountered.
When did Innovation Pointe Middletown open?
Yeah, so in December of last year, we had kind of like a soft open for the community, and then it officially opened the beginning of January 2025.
And what services do you provide?
Yeah. So we provide digital conversion devices. We really try to educate the community and give them the resources that they may not have at home, of course. We have 3D printers, so we can teach the community how to use 3D printing and how the whole process works. We have a photo station, sound booth, vinyl printer. We have a lot of different pieces of equipment, and then there's many more that may be coming.
So this might be a little bit over about what kind of equipment that you may not have mentioned already.
I would say one thing we really use a lot is our vinyl printer. We have businesses that come in and utilize us for their signs and displays. I believe we have someone that does like party planning and things like that, or event planning. They'll print out like signage for the events. They'll create stickers. We also have a photo printer. Artists can print out their prints that they may have on high quality paper that they bring in, or they can utilize what we have here.
So you mentioned vinyl printer. Does it only print on vinyl?
So no, we have banner material, poster material, and sticker material. And the really fun part about that is we get to also assist the library as well. So it originally kind of was assisting the library with signage, and then we can also help the community.
How big can those posters or vinyls or stickers be?
It will print up to 52 inches wide. Patrons are charged for consumable materials. So whatever the amount is printed off of the machine, that is what they're charged.
Can you tell us about how the project came about?
Yes, I can, because this was long in the making. We opened up our first Innovation Pointe or Makerspace at Westchester around late 2019, early 2020. And so we'd been wanting to have the same thing, something similar here at Middletown. And so we had gotten with some architects, consultants, tried to figure out a space to put it here. Nothing was really working. I mean, it was this building here in Middletown is 40 years old. It's not really designed for this kind of space. So this used to be the Ohio room where all of our historical works were stored. But we decided ultimately just to move those out into the public area and then convert this to part of the Innovation Pointe and also use this space right up in front as well. So ultimately, we were able to create a space here for Innovation Pointe.
And Amy, can you talk about how finding a space in the library was you kind of talk about from your angle as the branch manager?
Absolutely. Because like Steve had said, we were really excited to bring a space like that. What Westchester was doing, and it was so successful, we wanted to do the same thing up here in Middletown, but the space is difficult. So everything is very open in the library, which is fantastic normally, but when you have some items that may be louder or create some noise, we wanted to make sure to contain that, which is why this room was best suited for it, as we didn't have to change any walls or change any HVAC around, but it did mean moving a lot of the materials also. So there was a lot of moving pieces and parts to get this started here in Middletown.
And Steve, can you tell us about what went into retrofitting or refitting the space for all the equipment that is not here?
Okay, well, this room really had just a few outlets in it, really no power, no data as far as I'm aware, if I can remember correctly. So we basically we repainted it, we changed out all the ceiling tiles, added data, added power, painted, tidied up the carpeting, and just made sure that the room, looked decent enough to open up a new space.
And what went into constructing the sound booth, which we can see behind you?
So that was an adventure because when our IT director, Ross Brown, ordered it, we didn't know how it was going to come. How it was going to be shipped. Initially, we thought it was going to be one big 5,000-pound crate. And so Ross and I were like, well, how are we going to do that? And I was like, I've got an idea. And I called the people that do our moving for us, that move our branches when we have to have moving jobs done. And I talked to them and they said, yeah, we do have a forklift. We can have it handy if you need a forklift, and we can just load it into the building. And so we had the booth, instead of coming here, sent directly to them, to their warehouse, so they could move it. So it turns out that it was actually sent in about 4 or 5 different boxes. So we didn't need a forklift, but they brought it here, and we contracted with them to actually put the thing together. And it was a couple days project. They did a good job on it, though. But yeah, I remember that shortly after they had gotten it put together, we had to change a ceiling tile out in the ceiling. I had to climb onto the ceiling of the booth and, try not to, and you only have that much space between the booth and the ceiling. So it's like, it was an adventure.
The other component to this space was not just this enclosed room, but we needed to go outside into the library as well. So the manager of the Innovation Point at the time, he developed a space and created a space out of nothing, a whole room basically out of just furniture. So I thought that was really innovative and creative of a way to have a feeling of a space, but we didn't enclose it. So people can't just wander in and use any of the equipment. They still have to speak to somebody, but it's great, it gives them some boundaries.
I'm not gonna lie, it honestly happened really fast. Like, it was just seat of our pants, essentially. Idea was thrown out, and then the next day that idea would be put into motion. All right, we need 4 more tables. Okay, a day passes. The tables are already in the back. We gotta go set them up. All right, we're setting those up. We don't have the right shaped chairs. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get this, and then we gotta go ahead and build that. And so it was, I would say, very streamlined and very fast. It was almost like overwhelming at a certain point, but we were able to get it done.
How does Innovation Point Middletown differ from Innovation Point Westchester?
Yeah. So I always describe it as like audiovisual versus more like industrial kind of equipment, I suppose. Middletown has, the sound booth. We have the photo stations, whereas Westchester has the lasers. We have a UV printer and sublimation. So we have a lot of bigger, more industrial, dangerous, more machines in that Westchester location.
Did you have any input on some of the services or equipment that was going to be placed into the branch or this makerspace?
Yeah, so I have been asking for a makerspace or an Innovation Point since they built one in Westchester, but I didn't want it to be exactly like Westchester's. It wasn't fair to be a carbon copy because we don't want to compete with ourselves, and we want to draw people to Middletown as well. We wanted it to be different. I wanted to have a sound booth. That was something that other makerspaces in the area had been doing, and I thought it would be perfect for our space, and also a green screen. I wanted to put a green screen in here as well, just because that was very different. We would have more of an AV focus in our makerspace, where Westchester is more of hands-on tactile things.
Could you please tell us about your roles and responsibilities of your position?
So responsibilities as a makerspace manager, I take the lead on training my team and making sure that they're educated on the equipment that we have in the space. We get together and work on collaborating with other departments. I make sure that they can also educate the community with those pieces of equipment. I take care of inventory for our locations, scheduling the team for, day to day, working on events and bringing community resources and people to the library.
What are the roles and responsibilities of makerspace technician?
So it does vary, but the main focus of a role is going to be helping patrons with their projects that they come in to work on, and then making sure that we're servicing all of the equipment that we have, making sure that things are tidy, and then also relying on a little bit of support from the front desk and vice versa. We'll also help out with them, and sometimes they'll help out with us.
Working with the patrons with different projects, creative projects that they may have, trying to print signs or banners or stickers.
So what is your day-to-day like?
Oh goodness, it does depend, I would say, for sure. But day to day, it's mostly coming in at around 9 or 10, turning on all of the equipment, making sure everything's dusted off, going through our print queue to see how many express orders we have for the day, and if I remember, doing the reports, of course. Of course, we have our appointments that start at 10 and then go all the way from 4 to 6. And then once we work on that, if we have a little bit of downtime, it's just going through and cataloging things, making sure everything's going to be up and running for tomorrow. And then if we have any events, clearing out the space and making sure all of that's going to be set up as well.
And what is an express order?
So an express order is an order that we have our patrons that can't come in for an appointment, let's say. They can go ahead and submit a jot form where they can request what they want printed out on our vinyl printer, and we'll go ahead, print it out, cut it down for them, and then they can pick it up at a later date or at their earliest convenience.
Get here, get set, everything set up. Some stuff we try to display for the patrons, like the 3D printer, so they can see how that works. And then just working with the various appointments that we have, and then walk-ins as well.
Day to day, it changes all the time. So I can be, 1 second helping them with projects that maybe patrons need assistance with, or guidance with certain materials and things like that. I communicate a lot with different departments in the library, and as well different community organizations and things like that, making events, and again with programming, I assist with that as well.
You mentioned that you used to work as, I believe, a makerspace technician,
Yes.
and now you're the manager. Could you tell us what the major difference is between being a manager and a technician?
Yeah. So, sometimes I miss this part of the job where I get to, deal with patrons on a daily basis and get to see their projects and assist them on the regular. It's really rewarding to be able, to assist people in that way, and to get to see, we've even learned from our patrons. They come up with amazing ideas, and they'll even do research into some of our equipment and different ways to utilize our equipment, which is, very interesting to me. I think that aspect where you got to see more of interaction with the community. I still get to interact with the community, but in a larger aspect, and I get to, assist my team and guide them, which I really enjoy as well.
What made you want to move into management?
I think, that aspect where I really love, working with my team, and assisting them and helping them in different ways than just being a technician, and being that, resource to the community. I felt like there's a need, and we can definitely branch out into maybe the schools or other community organizations that we can help.
What do you find most rewarding about your job?
Oh my goodness, probably just being able to help people that don't usually have the resources to create certain projects, certain pieces of art, being able to help them actually bring those ideas to fruition. That has been so rewarding, especially when it's kids that are coming in that are like scanning in their art and having it printed out as a poster or making a sticker or something like that. That brings so much joy to me.
How hands-on are you with projects?
It once again depends. There are a lot of people that would be going to our Westchester location, since that was the only location of a makerspace that we had. We have a lot of people from Westchester that come up, and they are pretty much proficient when it comes to all of our equipment. So they don't require as much hands-on time, but there are also patrons that are just like, oh, what's this? I've never seen this before in my life. And so they require a little bit more hands-on assistance. Sometimes you have to, occasionally they'll offer you the mouse from the computer and be like, all right, click on it for me. I don't know what I'm doing. So it is a spectrum of what we need to do.
Helping the patrons see their project through, and then also enabling them to kind of take control for themselves. maybe teaching them how to use the vinyl printer themselves or how to use 3D modeling, things like that.
I would definitely say the being able to help the community with these resources and getting to see, the growth. We have patrons that come in and they maybe don't know a lot about technology or don't have a lot of resources at home. And being able to teach them and, see them start with the beginning of an idea and then ending with a project is really rewarding. And just really seeing that is great.
What do you find most challenging?
Good question. Not being able to make every patron happy. So we have, certain procedures and guidelines that have to be put in place to keep our equipment safe for, future use so that patrons can be safe. We want to make sure that everyone is educated properly. So there are certain limitations with our equipment that you can, only use certain things at a certain time. And then you obviously have to have a waiver and things like that. So there's certain stipulations.
Probably working with certain patrons, because while everyone is super nice, everyone is super polite, it does sometimes take a couple of tries to get someone to understand how to use Photoshop or how to use InDesign. And while that is super rewarding, it can also be a little frustrating at times. And then since we are working with machinery is going to machinery, so something is going to go wrong eventually. And when it does, it can either be like, oh, it's just a little loose screw, we can fix that. Or, oh, this is catastrophic, we need to call our maintenance man to come fix this. So once again, a spectrum.
Trying to get the vision that the patrons have for their creative project, seeing it through to the end.
That makes sense. So how hands-on are you with projects?
I like to be hands-on to a point where my goal is try to get the patron to enable them to be able to do a lot of this stuff on their own. So I try to be as hands-on as I can up until a point where they feel comfortable with taking the project on their own.
So Amy, what does Innovation Point Middletown bring to the Middletown Library?
We have so many library of things back here. It's fantastic. It's brand new clientele. People who don't normally come to a library might come in and do some vinyl printing. They may use the sound booth. They may use the green screen. People that haven't been in the library for a long time come in and say, oh, wow, what have you done back here? So it opens up more communication with our patrons where we can tell them all of the fun things that the Midpoint Library system has now.
How does a patron access the service or equipment?
Yeah, so you can book an appointment and you will get one-on-one assistance from a team member, which is really nice. So a lot of people will use that as, getting started if they have no idea what to do with a piece of equipment. It's really nice. The technician will sit down with you and discuss, your project and things like that. Or you can walk in as well. So we have a lot of patrons that utilize that service. If they've already done the one-on-ones and they're fully, completely efficient, they can come in and just utilize the equipment if no one else is using it, of course.
What is your favorite piece of equipment or service that you offer?
Ooh, favorite piece of equipment? I'm going to have to say the vinyl printer because it is super diverse. We can print on banner material, we can print on poster paper and on sticker paper. And if you've seen any of the water bottles I bring into work, covered in stickers, so I'm getting my usage out of that. And it's also great having the ability to, if let's say I see a poster for a movie that I've just seen, it's like, oh, they don't have that out and about. I can go ahead and make a copy of it, print that out, or I can help my friends print out their art if they're going to art fairs and help them learn the machines. Or if anyone else, I have a couple friends that work at different library maker spaces, they're looking for ideas for their programs, or I'm looking for ideas. It's really nice being able to communicate that too.
I would say the sound booth behind me here. That's my background is in audio engineering and production, so that's kind of my safe place. And I would love to get more patrons to be able to use that.
So can you speak a little bit more about the sound booth as someone who's not familiar with audio engineering?
Sure, yeah. So it is fully set up to do podcasting, YouTube, live streaming. We have a webcam and the ring light as well. You can do some limited music production and whatnot. We could hopefully expand that.
I do really like the vinyl printer. I think you can do a lot of things. If you know how to use Canva, you are really unstoppable with that vinyl printer. You can make your own stickers, you can make signage for your business, and I really like to be able to do that and design things.
Is there a project you'd like to highlight? One that you've worked on, or one that a patron might have worked on?
I do have a lot of projects that I've done, but patron-wise, we've had a patron. They utilize both locations, which is really cool. And we do have that a lot, where patrons will use Westchester for one thing and come here for another. They started out at Westchester using the laser a lot of times. They recorded an album. They're a little family band here locally, and they recorded their music in the sound booth by me, and then they were able to make their own like faux record. So the gentleman used the vinyl printer to make a sticker, which will lead you to their album, and then used the UV printer to make their design for their album, and then of course recorded their albums. So
That is very cool.
Oh gosh, there's a couple of them.
Share them all.
All right, so off the top of my head, I think my favorite project for the stuff that's in here, like the sound booth, we had a family band come in and they recorded a whole album here, and we were helping them pretty much every step of the way with tweaking the instrumentals, getting all of their instruments hooked up to the soundboard so they could actually hear them through the computers and the microphones and the headphones, helping them edit down the album. And then finally, at the end of the day, once the album was finished, they came in and they brought us a copy of it, and just seeing it and actually being able to physically hold it, that was super rewarding. And I almost cried. I teared up a bit, I cannot lie. And then my next favorite would probably be, we have this patron, he's in high school. He is a wonderful artist, and sometimes he will bring in his art for us to go ahead and either turn into stickers or print off as posters. And this past Halloween, he did a poster for an event that was going on at the Sorg Opera House, and they actually posted his poster on the Middletown City Schools website, and we were able to print off a couple of copies for him, and he autographed them, and he was so happy, and I was so happy. That was excellent. Genuinely, probably one of like my favorite things that this happened this year.
We get a lot of small business owners locally that come in and print off banners and posters and stickers for their advertisement. I think that's pretty cool because you can drive around Middletown and see some of the vinyl banners hanging up. It's like, hey, I helped make it.
My name is Ron. This is my daughter Maggie, and we worked on recording music at the Middletown Library. We have a family band that plays old-time music, myself on guitar, Maggie on fiddle, and my wife on mandolin, and we recorded an album there.
So I've been playing violin since I was 4, and I also have an older sister who's also been playing since she was 4, so like music has kind of been a part of our family for a long time. And my sister actually recorded 2 CDs, but CDs are kind of a little outdated now. So we came up with this idea to record an album, but do you want to show them the QR code?
Yes.
So when you pull it out, it has a little QR code that goes to a YouTube channel. Yeah, and we wanted to record some of our stuff because, just so we could hear what we sounded like and share it with some other people. We really started getting serious during the COVID lockdown. We decided to play at least one song every day. We've been coming to Westchester Library for a long time, and we were really excited when they saw the Innovation Pointe. We've used we used the UV printer for the album covers, and we've used the laser engraver, and we printed like a big banner for when my sister came home at one time. And then I think it was Noah, who used to work here,
Yes.
told us that they have a recording studio in Middletown, and somehow he knew that we played music or something from one of our other projects.
We've played many times here at the Westchester Farmers Market, right here in the library parking lot, and I think Noah saw us at that time, yes.
And so he had set us up with the Middletown people.
I do know that the album itself is featured on the wall at the School of Rock in Mason, Ohio. In fact, there's several, maybe a dozen, 2 dozen albums mounted to the wall of famous people who were born or recorded here in the Cincinnati area. And that's actually where the idea was first born. I saw all these albums on the wall, and I knew we wanted to record, and we had done some recording at the Innovation Pointe. But making an album, of course, most people don't have a record player. Also, it's prohibitively expensive to make an actual album. So that's when I come up with the idea of seeing these albums and putting the QR code in the center of the album. The School of Rock in Mason, they were grateful enough to, we're grateful that they put it on the wall and mounted it as one of the local artists here in Cincinnati.
And what was your first reaction, like walking into that space?
I thought it was really cool.
It was very high tech. Everything was top drawer. The facility, the computer system that ran the recording studio, and I believe his name was Chris at the time, helped us, and he was very knowledgeable in running the equipment. And that was, we had to take a step back and say, whoa, wait a minute, this is real. Yeah.
It was also, though, I would say it was pretty easy to learn,
Yes.
like how to use the
Yeah.
equipment too, which was nice. So
And did it kind of take one go through, or did you have to come back multiple times?
we came back multiple times, but I would say that was more because we're perfectionists.
We were able to get used records from an old record store. Many of the records are old music that they were unable to sell, so we were given some of the records. Maybe they're unplayable or people don't want to play them, but we also took some information from old recordings, such as this line. I'd like to actually read it to you. This JFB high fidelity recording is scientifically designed to play with the highest quality of reproduction on your personal electronic device. If you are the owner of a quality digital device, this recording will play with even more brilliant, true-to-life fidelity. In short, you can be assured that this recording will not become obsolete in the future.
That was an actual thing that was on
That was
records. It
on
was
a
like it will
record.
not become obsolete.
And so we used
really?
that.
What is something I need to know about Innovation Point Middletown that I might not?
Let's see. What is something that you might need to know that you might not? Well, I do give props to whoever did the website. It is very informative. We don't really talk much about on there about having like ideas already pre-prepped. If that is something that you're wanting to do, like you're wanting to come in and use our space, it is always a good idea to have some idea in mind so you're not feeling overwhelmed with everything that we have here. I'd say that is something that you should definitely know. Make sure that you have your creativity juices flowing so we can hop right into it and we can help you to the best of our ability.
So, speaking of that, are there places that you direct patrons to get ideas from, or any like creative resources?
Yeah, so obviously Pinterest, Pinterest is going to be a great place to start if you're wanting to do a project of some sort, or you're looking at like, what poster dimensions do I want? Or what am I wanting to 3D print? I always recommend go on Pinterest, look for ideas, get that inspiration. Even going on Canva and looking at the templates they have if you're not sure where you want to start for a banner or something like that. Any free resource that has art on it is genuinely a great place to start. If you're wanting to do 3D prints, the website Printables or Thingiverse, anything like that, you're able to find pretty much any 3D print under the sun and just go from there.
We offer a lot of different technologies and equipment that can really help you in various ways that you may not even know until you get in here and start working on. We get a lot of patrons that want to print off a banner and then they realize, oh, I can make buttons as well. Oh, that's cool. Or, oh, we have a full photo studio back here. Oh, I can take pictures of my family and print them off. It can be a one-stop shop for a lot of creative endeavors.
How has Innovation Point Middletown grown or changed over the past year?
So we started out, a little bit slow here and there. A lot of people would book appointments and things like that, starting off mainly using the vinyl printer. But I think over a period of time, with us bringing more availability with walk-ins, expanding to different maybe equipment and things like that, we become quite busy. I think last month our numbers for door count and things like that was above Westchester's. So I mean, just all around, being able to have this resource for the community, I've definitely seen a change in the past year.
We have added the 3D printing for the patrons, which is really cool. I've been looking forward to that because we get a lot of questions about that when they come back here and they see the different printers. Like, oh, can we do that? Not yet. We're getting there. So
Can you tell us about the time the mayor of Middletown came to visit?
Absolutely. So she had reached out to our community engagement director and said, I would like a tour of the makerspace. And she brought the city manager with her, and they came over with a couple of other city employees and toured for an hour with the space. So they were thinking of how they can use what we have available to their benefit, and how they can promote it to people in the city. So I think that was very exciting, and they were so impressed with everything. And mostly what people say is, I can't believe the library does this. So we hear that a lot, but that's fantastic. We are changing and growing.
I know that Middletown City Schools is doing personalized learning days. Can you please talk about that, how Innovation Point helped with that?
Absolutely. We were featured business on the Middletown City Schools Personalized Learning Day this past November, and they were able to draw the kids back here. They had about 73 kids, I think, come through. They did coloring pages. They used the green screen, took pictures. They had banners of Midi Rising. It was a really interactive experience, and they brought more clientele in to see what the library has to offer.
What has the community's reaction been to the makerspace?
A lot of shock and awe, and just gratitude, I think.
So far, it's been very positive. People have come in, and first of all, they don't know what is back here or how to use it. But then they come and talk to the wonderful staff about, well, what's back here? How can I use this? And they give them a tour, and they say, this is the button maker. This is what you could do. You can print out your pictures here. Oh, all of those old VHS tapes you have at your house, you can convert them. And then they see value in that, and they want to come back and learn more as well.
I was trying to help someone organize a slideshow, and I'm not real computer literate, so I came in for help. And plus, on my computer, you can't organize your photos, you can't move them around. And I needed to scan pictures, so I came in. They had this lovely scanner over here, and so I was able to scan the pictures. After we scanned them, we put them on the computer, and we were able to arrange them in the order I needed. And the girl that I worked with was extremely knowledgeable and extremely helpful. And so I finally got the mission complete.
Oh, good.
So it just made my life a whole lot easier getting help.
Really easy way to, basically for free, you can make really high quality professional looking stuff. We'll go to places like the Ohio State Fair where they have all the booths of people selling whatever, and they'll have some cutting board or whatever they're selling for $15 for you just made this on the laser engraver, it's so easy and fast, and you can get really, really cool stuff.
Yeah, it's a good way to bring your creativity to life. And it's available for everybody. You don't have to necessarily be an artist.
Also, if you are an artist, there's plenty of opportunities to print out your stuff too. So
Yes.
Initially, we weren't sure how many people would actually use it. And just the other day, I was talking to one of the people working there, because it was, 8 o'clock in the morning, and they're already printing out, banners and things like that. And it's, as they mentioned to me, it's definitely increasing. Usage is increasing, and the community is taking advantage of the opportunities that they have here in Innovation Point.
Some businesses have taken a liking to it as well, which is fantastic. We've done a lot of things for the Middletown Fire Department, working together with them. The police department wants to work with us as well with some vinyl, so it's very exciting.
Well, I was just really excited to be able to get help and for it to work out.
We recently did a event with Middletown City Schools, and we got to see a lot of parents that came in, and they didn't know that we were here, possibly because not everybody comes to the library every day, and they were just in shock of the availability for patrons, the equipment and how they can use it, and the technicians and everything, and how helpful we all were. So it was really nice.
Are there any future projects coming for you guys?
Possibly more recording. Definitely. I think we have how many tracks on the YouTube channel now?
I think a dozen.
A dozen. This style of music, old-time music, there's literally thousands of songs. And so we will continue to update the channel as we record. As far as future projects that don't have to do with the album itself,
I don't think we've had anything lately, but I'm sure we'll come up with something soon.
Yeah.